going on, everybody? Trying to figure out an audio issue over here, so apologies. Let's see. What do we have? The Halloween Ends marketing. It's about to begin, finally. I think that people can hear me. Fucking StreamYards the last 2 days has been bullshit. Joining me on this one, it's a bunch of people. First up, he is the host of the Take One podcast. Big Stranger Things fan, and I hear he hates Halloween. This is confirmed.
Go to settings.
Mike, what's going on, man?
Oh.
Not much, man. As you can see, I really hate Halloween. So, you know, it is what it is, though.
I believe it. Fucking hater. Also joining.
I just had this stuff up because I was forced to have it up. That's it. That's the only reason.
Also joining us is apparently a mannequin of Kieran who is like super, super still or frozen. I don't know. What do we think? Still or frozen?
I don't know. My man looks like he's about to go try out for one of the new Game of Thrones shows. I'm intrigued. Not gonna lie to you.
Which one? There's 1,000 of those. And also,
I don't know. Take a pick.
Also joining us, and maybe for the last time with that fucking shirt on, it's Jer and Kate. What's going on?
Hello. I am doing fantastic. She's running into a couple audio issues because, as you said, StreamYards.
Yeah, the last 4 hours is a nightmare on here. So,
yeah,
we'll work through it. We'll do our best.
I like your hair, Kate.
You got a compliment on your hair.
Thank you. Was it Kieran?
No.
Oh.
Of course you'd take credit for it, though. It was Mike.
It was me.
Yeah.
Wait, it was Kieran?
Yes.
Stop fucking lying, Kieran. It was not.
No,
Rewind the tape.
he's trying to.
You know what?
Oh, he's got the sword out.
Oh.
Here, I'll bring this over next time.
Don't touch that or else I'm going to tell Terrence.
Never mind. That was me.
Terrence doesn't have a sword. Terrence has a pitchfork.
He says something. Or
He's like Raphael from the Ninja Turtles.
So finally, I guess we can hopefully stop being bothered about this. We have a trailer release date. At least we believe we do. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. But the Halloween Ends marketing, painfully is about to begin. And I don't mean from their sake, but rather the fandom in general and the complete nonsense that has gone on with the spamming of social media accounts for everybody that's involved in the film. And yeah, so finally it's about to begin. Marketing kicks off Monday. I don't know what specifically is kicking it off. I just know that next week we have, I believe, multiple interviews, a magazine piece, a poster, probably a couple of very brief teases followed by the trailer. I seen someone put in the chat that the trailer is Friday, and that is not the date that we have on the trailer. So maybe it will be Friday. Maybe we're wrong, but that's not the date that we have. So I'm going to go with the date that we have. Those of you that follow us over on Patreon and support us over there, we've been pretty active this morning in the chat. A few of you got the date, and we're just going to give it out here in a bit. But painfully, Mike, this is finally about to begin, and maybe people can stop acting like total dipshits.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, it's to the point where it's frustrating. I mean, Halloween is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I don't know, man. I just never understood, going to the extents of just going to, tweeting at people like Jason Blum and everybody involved, just saying nasty things to them. I mean, stuff like that's just so uncalled for. To the point where Jason Blum had to respond to it in a sense. Obviously, he didn't have to, but I mean, it was probably to the point where he was just fucking frustrated himself. I mean, no offense to any Halloween fan, I'm one of the biggest out there, but Halloween is not their only concern. They just had a phone. I mean, they just had the black phone that dropped that was very big for them. It continues to be big, especially for an original film. So I don't know. I mean, I'm ready for it. I can tell you, and I'm sure we'll jump into it. The trailer has been rated, and we have a length time on that, and I'm pretty excited about the length because I'm one of those people who I don't need a 3-minute trailer. I don't want a 2.5-minute trailer. To be honest with you, I'm good with that minute 15, minute 30-second trailer. That's what I want because I don't. As much as I want to see Michael as much as I can, I just don't want any of my stuff ruined. And unfortunately, that's kind of what Blumhouse does. I mean, they kind of did it with the Black Phone. I didn't watch the second trailer for the Black Phone. I just watched the first one, and I'm glad I didn't because I went back and watched that second trailer, and there was a couple scares in that second trailer that would have kind of ruined it for me when I went and saw the Black Phone. And thank God, like I said, I didn't watch it, and I was totally surprised for the jump scares in the Black Phone. So, look, man, I'm excited to get the marketing started, like any other Halloween fan. But it's just, to the extent that people were taking it to, it's just ridiculous. Because now the only thing that's going to happen is we're going to get this is trailer number one. Obviously, we're going to get another trailer, at least another one before the movie drops. And I can guarantee you, as many people that were bitching about wanting the trailer and getting the trailer to come here, they're going to end up bitching about the trailer showing too much. So
this is all kind of a bit of a whirlwind to me. We'll get Kieran's take here in a second. I woke up this morning. I didn't work today, so that was nice. And my phone was just kind of going nuts. And I seen some images on Twitter, but they weren't from the same place that I use to figure out if a trailer's been rated up here in Canada. So I had to do some digging and did some digging, and sure enough, it turned out to be legit. The interesting thing, though, about that is not only has the trailer been rated, but there are basically all major cinemas up here in Canada have the Halloween Ends trailer in their possession and the code in hand digitally. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Like, if you read the description, even you can piece that together. They're all over the internet right now on Twitter of the trailer being rated. Oh, I think it was in British Columbia, and 61 cinemas out there have the trailer. So, it's coming. It's here. You don't have to wait another fucking month for the thing. We're going to be joined here in a second, by the way. I don't know if anybody knows. I'm assuming some of you do. The YouTube channel, Craven Something Scary. Craven from that's going to hop on here. He talks a lot of Halloween and Scream stuff. So Dean might want to duck for cover, but and he's been covering a lot of this stuff as well. So we'll bring him on, get his thoughts. I wouldn't mind just like another content creator's thoughts on just some of the stupidity that's going on out there as of late. But Kieran, Mike touched on it. The trailer is literally just over a minute. This is a legitimate teaser trailer, not a trailer. And someone was messaging me today already complaining about the length of it. And I said, for the last two movies, you didn't even really get a teaser trailer. They're full-length trailers they did the one when they announced the movie was going to be delayed, which was like a year. But after that, they for Kills, the main trailers were all like 2+ minutes. For 2018, they were all 2+ minutes. I like the idea that they're going to try to hold it close to the vest here and only show us, 90 seconds? Maybe less? I can't remember the time that's on there, but minute 16, Mike? Is that what you said? 76 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's less than, which I like.
That's what I'm seeing.
Good.
And, Sean, to your point, you're one of the people that I've always respected for, because obviously you stated before, you get a lot right on this channel, but there's sometimes you do get things wrong, and we don't know this for a fact, but it's kind of looking more like we may see this CinemaCon trailer that was shown or whatever teaser was shown. We don't know. I know you had mentioned that on Twitter. And if that's the case, I feel like people are going to be disappointed. People are going to be disappointed either way, in a sense. I mean, people are coming at all kinds of people, all kinds of content creators, and, everybody, people involved with the film, people on YouTube, us. I know people came at Jimmy Champagne about the mat. I mean, everything. It's just, I don't get I don't know. I just don't understand. It's so hard for me to understand why people are coming at people so hard about these things. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, in my view, like, trailers are a double-edged sword. You want to see them. You want to see some footage. You want to see, but sometimes you get too much. Sometimes you don't get enough. Sometimes trailers are. It's actually like it's a big art to make trailers properly. To be honest, there's a lot of companies or movies out there that get made, and they show you a trailer that shows you all of the best parts of the movie, and then when they come, they would have been like a really big like hurrah moment, and they end up being half of what they're supposed to be because they showed you in the trailer. Comedy movies are the worst for that. I know horror movies with jump scares can be bad like that too. If they show you the jump scare, then it's not gonna scare you. What you see is not gonna scare you the same. And in comedy movies, a lot of times they give out the best jokes, so you're really excited to see something. But then when the trailer comes, it sometimes makes the movie not as good. And I think the secret art to it is when they do they show you something the wrong way. For instance, they show you someone jumps at something else, and then when you see the movie, you realize, oh, that jump scare was actually the fake jump scare in the next one, or things like that. Sometimes they can make trailers to kind of mislead you a little bit, and as long as it's not in a way that takes away something you wanted to happen, then that's good. But yeah, trailers are always like, sometimes you wished you hadn't seen them, and sometimes you wished you had seen them so that you would have seen the movie in the theater. So I can't really. I'm glad that it's only a minute. I'm glad it's not 2 minutes, because there's less likely of that, and there's a little bit of something we can get. So.
Whoa, I think the Ends trailer was what, 2.5 minutes, 2:45, something crazy. I mean, it was pretty long. I enjoy anything under 2 minutes. I think that that's the best way to go. But Universal is pretty famous for showing way too much in their trailers, so that's pretty disappointing. Like, I understand, like, for the firefighter scene, for example, in Ends. In Kills, they could have showed a little bit of that, but some of those moments were pretty big and pretty like good to see on the screen. And I think if you could have just saved some of those moments, just talking about that scene in particular, would have been so much better to witness that firsthand in the theater. Like, you could have shown like Michael walking out of the house, and then you already know, and just kind of coming face to face with the firefighters. You didn't have to show some of the kills in the trailer. Like, I thought that was a little too much, just as an example.
I just pulled it up on screen, and the first real trailer, and I'm not talking about the small tease they did when they're like, oh, hey, so the movie's being delayed, so here you go. Just, be quiet, please. The actual trailers for Halloween Kills, the first one was 2.5 minutes long. The second trailer was actually shorter than the first trailer, which is, they did show too much in those movies. I know that a lot of us, I can't remember at what point Kieran had read the script. And Mike, I know you never did Cave.
No, you sent it to me, and I was going to, but I couldn't. And we talk about the trailer, but even I think I mentioned to you, Sean, and I saw a TV shot of Michael going face to face with Tommy, and I thought that was huge.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that was gonna happen. I figured maybe it was gonna happen, just because Tommy was a big character in Kills, but that's something that I didn't need to see. I thought that would have been a great shot to see in the theater.
Longtime supporter of this channel, Mr. Intel Wild, for the great information, guys. I guess that requires us to actually give information on what we believe the date to be and what this poster rumor is. So we should dive into that in a second here. We're still waiting on Craven. I don't know if StreamYards is having some issues. And I think Jer and Kate are sort of here, but they're also having audio issues. So I don't know if they want to chime in on what it's like to. I think Kate mentioned on yesterday's stream that she likes to avoid trailers because she likes to go into stuff fresh. And I definitely respect that perspective. Because I think especially with horror and comedy, like Kieran said, like, if you already know those moments are coming, they can completely ruin what it would be like to experience that for the first time. And I'm someone that doesn't mind spoilers. Like I read spoilers for almost everything. But even I remember looking at that first Halloween Kills trailer last year and went, "Oh, they really just showed that much, huh? Okay." And
Badass trailer, way too much. Like you can get a hell of a trailer, a great trailer, which I thought Kills was, but they showed too much. So like, pick your poison, you know.
Jared, Kate, any thoughts on movie trailers and
Me personally, I like movie trailers as long as they don't blow the entire story and give you the start, middle, and end. It defeats the purpose of going to see the movie, right? I like a brief idea of what's going to happen, but not the whole thing where it just, kills the point of seeing the movie. You want to see, like, okay, there's the idea of the story. I know what story I'm paying my money to go see. I don't want to see the whole story in a matter of 2 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you think of movie trailers?
I don't watch them at all specifically because I already spend too much time when I'm watching the movie trying to call the movie. So if I have any outside information, then it just kind of ruins it for me. So I don't watch them at all.
Especially with today's movie trailers, because they will literally show you everything. I remember watching content creators who, and this is not a shot at them by any means, because I respect anybody that does not want to be spoiled by something that's coming, right? Try to, like, there was like a complete disbelief amongst the fandom. I don't know if anybody remembers this last year, but trying to make excuses for what was shown in that first Halloween Kills trailer, like, oh no, it must not be that, and it must not be that, and I'm sitting here going, no, it's that. Like they really did show you that much. I don't know why, but and it's very clear. I mean, it was told to me this morning that. So when I first seen the post about the trailer being rated, like I said when we got on air, it's not the place that I normally use, so I didn't know about it. And then once we reached out to the guy who our source for all intents and purposes, I had tweeted out something before that said, "Hey, I think this might be the CinemaCon trailer because of how short it is." He's still staying with, no, it is not. This is something that has been newly put together, and they're keeping things close to the chest, and you're not going to see nearly as much. In fact, he expects there to be people whining about them not showing enough in this trailer. And to me, if you can get people hyped for a movie without showing too much, then you've done your job well. And to get someone else's thoughts on this, he's the host of Craven Something Scary. It's Craven. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening? Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, dude. Trailer, it's coming. Marketing begins next week. At least that's we're out there. I know you get asked about it a lot, and they're kind of everywhere. What are your thoughts on a short teaser, around 76 seconds, I think it is?
Like a minute 12, I think. Love it, man. Huge fan of it. I think shorter the better, and I would much rather them leave us wanting more than give us way more than we want to see. And you guys were talking about this a minute ago. The typical thing we see nowadays are, you see the first act, second act, third act in the trailer. It's like a 2.5 minute mini movie. And, there's some details left out, but you pretty much know what's going to happen. And that was disappointing with the final Kills trailer, especially to me. I was like, oh my gosh, they could have left out the whole firefighter scene. They should have saved that. There's just certain things they should not have shown us. But especially coming off of over $200 million with 18, I know there was a time gap, but anyway, whatever. That's in the past. But for this movie, man, I think the first thing I noticed was the runtime, and I said, "Oh, this is fantastic. This is what I want." Now it's going to be a teaser. There's another one, right? That's going to be coming probably in September or August. That's going to be a 2.5 minute or so trailer. But I'm going to enjoy the short trailer, and I just hope that they don't show us anything from the third act. That's the big thing for me.
I thought you said Wes Craven was going to be on this stream.
That would be an accomplishment.
That would be pretty wild to pull that off. Yeah.
Okay, so the date. Sorry, we actually haven't even given the date. We've seen someone in the chat say it's Friday, and it could be Friday, but that's not the information we have. and we could end up being wrong on it. But the date that I was told today is the 14th. The 14th is the day to look at, which is Thursday, not Friday, and that stuff will begin Monday. I believe we're getting something from a magazine. I don't know if it's Total Film. It might be Total Film because I feel like it was Total Film that came out with their piece first last year, but it could be someone else. You'll get a couple of like sneak teases at the trailer more than likely on Twitter. That's what everybody does now. You get, oh, here's 5 seconds of something completely aimless in the trailer, and then you'll get the trailer on Thursday, and then the poster. I don't know when, but we're supposed to get that next week too. And there's a cool little rumor behind that. But anyone surprised about Thursday the 14th? I know for a while we've said it would be around then.
Do you remember when stuff used to always come out on the same day? Like the video store gets movies on Tuesdays. Movies always come out on Friday. Like
same with album releases.
You could always count on one day for everything you knew. And these days it's just like whenever we fucking want. You know what? I don't care. We're gonna do it at 2:00 on a Tuesday morning. Like, just like they used to do it the right way. Damn it! Get off my lawn.
Always release the bad news Friday at 5:00.
Right?
Oh, my God. I mean, you're a big Rick and Morty fan, Kieran. Like, they're famous for that shit. Not giving people notice about anything.
I still have no idea when the season's coming. In fact, now there are things saying late 2022 and early 2023, where it was always 22. It was always 22. Now it's like, but maybe. So, fucking assholes.
Taylor Swift is more reliable when it comes to 22.
So there's a poster rumor out there, and I'll be honest, it's coming from someone that I have no reason not to trust. It just doesn't line up with what they've done with the first two films. But then again, this film and what we know about it doesn't really line up with the first two films. So the Kills poster, which I have right there, and I think Mike, oh no, you don't have 2018. I thought you did up there. They're basically the same poster. They're mirrored, and then you add in the fire and the burnt mask. And other than that, there's almost nothing different about the 2018 poster and the Halloween Kills poster. I know for a long time we thought, okay, well, the third movie would be like a front-on shot of Michael's mask and maybe some different coloring, a black and blue. But from what I understand, the rumor that's out there right now is the poster doesn't at all line up with the first two posters, and it's something completely different. And at first thought, I kind of don't like that, because I liked the idea of having all three of mine beside each other and then looking like they're part of the same thing. But if they're staying true to the narrative of the movie, this movie's not like the other two movies. It's nothing even close to the other two movies. So it sort of makes sense from that perspective. How do we feel about a poster? At the end of the day, it's just a poster, but we know how hardcore fans get. Being different from the first two. Craven, we'll start with you, man. I don't know if you're a big poster guy or not.
I enjoy them. Yeah, I do. I don't per se collect them. I do have a couple. But for as far as that goes, I think that, I mean, something different is the phrase of the day for Halloween Ends, right? I mean, everything we're hearing from Carpenter, David Gordon Green, Nick Castle, Jamie Lee even. This movie is definitely, they're wanting to let us know it's not going to be what we're expecting. They're doing a good job of not telling us what's the details are, which I like, but they're just being very ambiguous. But we know this is going to be a departure from all the other movies. And so I think it kind of makes sense the poster would too. I mean, if you're going to keep it all connected, then give us something new, different, and maybe more in line with this coming of age quote film that we're about to watch in October. So I'm cool with that.
Anyone else?
You know what would be cool? If they had, they should really get like a scratch and sniff poster, and you like scratch it, and then it smells like shitty old moldy rubber, since like his mask is going to be like four years old and not washed.
Yeah, 44 years old. That's ugh.
Have you been to Comic-Con?
You don't think that's a good idea? What did Jared say?
Have you been to Comic-Con?
Oh yeah, I've been to Comic-Con.
You didn't sound too happy about it.
Mike, you
I'm
have
going to an anime con this weekend, so that should be fun because I know almost nothing about anime.
Isn't that usually late May?
Yeah, they changed it this year, but normally it's April or May.
Yeah, because I used to run wrestling
But-
shows at Anime North.
That seems unrelated.
If you've ever seen the clip on YouTube of Elmo delivering a rock bottom,
oh my god.
yeah, I that was my show.
Is that the one on Pornhub?
Mike,
No, that's the other one.
posters behind you, dude. Your thoughts on the Ends poster potentially being a lot different than the first two?
Man, I don't know. I really enjoyed the first two. Like, I really enjoyed 18s and Kills for the simplicity of the posters. I thought they were simple. I thought Kills obviously popped a lot with the coloring, and obviously the deterioration in the burnt mask. So I really enjoyed that. And I was really wanting to get that third poster, kind of like you were hoping as well, to kind of line up the same. I thought the posters, I saw somebody in the chat said they didn't really like the posters. I've liked the posters so far. So I'm definitely intrigued to see what it is. Obviously not the end all be all, just a poster. But I hope they go 3 for 3 here. Like, I hope it's a good one.
It looks like one of Craven's viewers has popped over here. I appreciate you checking us out, man. I'm glad that he could be here for this. I'm going to shift gears here for a second. And if Dean Renner's in the chat, sorry, I apologize. One of our chat mods is not a Scream fan, but I don't mind Scream. Let me ask you, man. We know Scream is set in New York City for this new movie. That's the popular thing that's out there. And I threw it there in our little horror chat that we have on Facebook, that I feel like it would be a missed opportunity to not have Ghostface throw someone off of like a 50-story building if you're going to have it set in New York City. Thoughts on the idea, or is that just a little too over the top?
Who asked?
He could.
Anybody, or? I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, what Scream 4? They were thrown off of a parking deck. I mean, obviously that's not as high as a skyscraper, but I don't have no problem with that. I don't think that that's overboard.
Throw them off, and then they land on Godzilla or King Kong, and it'll be great cross promotion.
That sounds fun to me. Heck yeah, man. I'm all.
I mean, what
Listen,
we've
yeah.
seen somebody in Child's Play thrown off of a very high apartment complex building. So I don't think it would be corny or anything.
Yeah.
I think it'd look badass personally. I'd love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. And the other thing too for New York, Sean, is you got the Montreal's got the subways. So it would be a real missed opportunity if they don't do something in the subways there. It would be great to see a subway kill in a Scream movie. Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
And that's not going overboard either. I mean, people ride the subway late at night. I mean, you never, I think that being in New York, they have a lot of options that they can run with that would be really, really good for this franchise. That I think could turn out really well as well.
Yeah.
They could make Ghostface just like a mugger in New York, just killing everyone.
Those people might actually be scarier than Ghostface. So,
oh my god!
if you've been to the subway in Toronto, I would much rather fight a guy in a mask.
I'm totally down with a subway killing. I mean, just walk up and hit him with a 12-inch oven roasted chicken.
Nope.
Oh my god! Wow. I did hear. Mike, what's the name of Nelson's podcast there with Sean Clark?
Oh, the twins with two heads, or the twin with two heads, something like that.
I'm sure someone in the chat knows, but those two, Christopher Nelson, who is an Academy Award-winning makeup artist who worked on the Fear Street trilogy, worked on Suicide Squads, worked on the Halloween movies here. Him and Sean Clark did confirm, I think this was yesterday or the day before, it was pretty instant, that Neve Campbell has not signed a deal to return. But who knows? Weirder things have happened. Craven, what was your sort of take on the what appears to be like lowballing of Neve Campbell and her standing up for what she feels her value is to the franchise, regardless of it only being. I think Mike had it at what did you have it 4 days of filming they wanted to do. You or Dean had mentioned it to me.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days. I think it was listed attention originally for 4 days.
I can't get it around my head, dude. How you do that to Neve Campbell? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. So that, yeah, and it was interesting because and the reason I think there's there's something to this that's legit as far as the deal, and none of us know the numbers. We probably never ever will. But here's the thing, man. Nev's track record in history, she's never one to come out and speak publicly in a negative light against a studio or anyone for that matter. She's got a very she's, for the most part, you never hear from her unless she's on screen, and so she comes out and doesn't even have you could have had language so much different. She could have come out and said, "Hey guys, I want you to know that we weren't able to reach an agreement. However, it's going to be a great movie. You guys need to go see this movie, and who knows what the future holds. Maybe I'll be back." That would have been a nice way to do it. But no. She comes out and makes a point to say that I feel like the offer I received does not reflect the value I've brought to this franchise. And then she goes into the whole thing about how, as being a female actor, having to basically, I'm paraphrasing now, basically having to do even extra to try to get what her value is in the films. So that was very, very scathing, in my opinion, comments towards the business executives over at Spyglass and Lantern who owned the purse for the money. So when that came out back on June the 6th, it was a bombshell. And so there was a ton of rumors that came out a week and a half ago saying that she's back, it's a secret deal, and she's going to be filming. There's some that are even still saying she's going to be filming July 28th, 29th, and 30th. And then we hear from Sean and Chris on the podcast, and he's like, I texted her, and she said that's absolute BS. It's nothing but a rumor. And she says, "Where did you hear it? I haven't even heard about this." So he said he sent her the link. So at that point, I was like, okay, unless I hear from Neve or from the studio, I am in my default position now. She's not back. She is not back until I hear it from one of those two, or if I have I call it my ears and eyes in Montreal. My buddy Chris over at Discover Montreal, great YouTube channel. He's lives there, and he's actually today he is driving around to get photos for me to post and talk about. So he said he's gonna basically camp out at the airport on like July 27th, and if he's gonna be like scouring the shooting scenes, and if he gets a shot of Neve, then it's the rumors are over. That'll be done. I'll do a breaking live stream with him from Montreal, and we'll tell everybody. Other than that, though, guys, I'm out. I am not riding this up and down roller coaster of emotion that she's back and no, now she's gone. I'm just gonna say she's out at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I mean, obviously, Sean could be, I don't want to say lying about it, but he could be, if the intent is to keep it a secret, obviously he's going to do his part. But then again, to be honest with you, I've met Sean. I've talked to Sean on many occasions. I trust him. Obviously, he wouldn't come out and just say whatever. So obviously, he represents Neve at all these conventions. So he was honestly concerned. He had heard it and was wondering if it would be a conflict because the dates that Craven just said was the dates that she's supposed to be at a convention. So obviously that would conflict with that and would be very telling if she's not there when the dates were reported that she is supposed to be filming. So that would be a telltale sign. But for him to come out and say what he texted her and she said that's complete bullshit. And obviously if she shows up at the convention, obviously either one, those weren't the correct dates, and two, she's just not in it at all. It's just rumors at this point. And I'm going to go with Craven. I'm taking it as rumors at this point until I hear directly from her. As exciting as it was when I first heard it, Sean kind of put that to rest for me. I'm just gonna wait until we hear from her. I'm on the same page as Craven.
Yeah, I think that's probably a solid page to be on too, because the second you start believing that she's back and you go into it thinking that she's back and she's not, you're going to ruin the experience of the movie for yourself, in my opinion.
I do want to ask Craven something real quick. There was rumors that a Kirby scene got leaked. Were you able to see that at all?
I saw. I know what you're talking about. I saw that there was allegedly this scene leak. I have not watched or got into that at all. So
yeah, me neither. I didn't see it, so I was just curious if you had heard about it.
Yeah, I've heard about it out there, but this is the time of year where we get all the leaks that usually never turn out to be true anyway, and so it's like just fanning the flames right now, and Reddit's going to be just blowing up with stuff. So, and this is the time of year where I don't pay a whole lot of attention unless there's photos. Then I really listen because it's objective at that point. And I'm not saying that's incorrect, that there was a leak. That it could be, but I just don't ever. I don't want to waste my time even. Well, I shouldn't say that. I will sometimes peek around and poke around and look. But for the Kirby one, I have not on that one, just because I'm like, oh, well, that's par for the course. It's that time. But my interest is more in what's happening in Montreal, with the filming locations. And, we've got the theater confirmed now, which that's a little concerning for me, quite frankly, because I was really hoping that James, and I still do, I'm not saying they're not, but I hope that James and Guy, who wrote the movie, writing the movie, are not just going to rest on Craven's roadmap for Scream 2, but we know there's the theater, the stab posters are up, so, and my friend in Montreal has verified it, it's happening, they're filming there right now, this weekend, so, we'll see, right, we'll see, but I just hope this is a radio silence Scream, and not a Wes Craven / radio silence Scream. I'm like, make your own original movie, pay homage, that's fine. I like that. But let's not go back to that theater and I swear if it's an opening kill in a movie theater, man, I'm like, that'd be the worst possible thing other than Kirby getting killed in the opening, but I don't believe that's not going to happen. Anyway, I'm rambling on now, but anyway, these pictures are fun and I'm very curious to see exactly what we're gonna find out at the end of the day. But my eyes and ears are open, man. That's for sure. Fun times to be a Halloween fan and a Scream fan.
It is like for as much as people want to criticize, the Neve Campbell situation or criticize, Blumhouse and Universal not showing or beginning the marketing to this late, and I'm sure there'll be people that criticize them eventually for showing too much. At least these franchises are still getting new content, and newer generations are able to experience new content. There's basically an entire generation of people that have not experienced a Friday the 13th movie. They would have been very young when the remake came out, and same with the Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And I hope both of those franchises get their time back in the limelight, but at least as Halloween and Scream fans, you get that content. And I know sometimes people say, well, we were better off with nothing. I don't necessarily agree with that. At least you're getting something. There are people that are huge fans of other franchises, Kieran Leprechaun, that would die for another movie. But, and they're not getting it. So we should at least value the journey to these things. Even if you don't appreciate the movie, appreciate the journey.
And
it'd be 10 years before you experience it again.
And that's a good point. And something that I want to comment on to that point is I might not, I wasn't the biggest fan of the new Scream film. I didn't hate it, but I just wasn't the biggest fan. But I can tell you that I really appreciated seeing Ghostface on the big screen. I appreciated seeing Michael back on the big screen. A lot of the Halloween movies that came out, I was very young and I didn't get to go to the theaters and experience that. I would have loved to experience 4 in the theaters, so I just take those experiences, whether I end up liking the movie or not. I take them for what they are, and I definitely try not to take those things for granted because we're not always going to have that.
Yep, and we should support them. Like, even I even mentioned the other day on one of my live streams. I'm like, if there's a slasher movie that comes out, because that's my favorite subgenre of horror, anyways. Obviously, so you probably can figure that out. But for slashers, support them. I mean, it doesn't mean we're gonna like them, like you said, but the fact that they're making them, we're getting this kind of this little resurgence, with X and Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and Halloween and Scream, all this stuff's back. So let's appreciate, to Mike's point, the fact that it's back. These things are back. It could be a 10-year drought if we don't go buy tickets, and it could happen all over again. So, yeah, let's support it. And if whether we like it or not, we'll see. Right? We'll go with an open mind. But if we don't go, and then the chances of us getting another movie for them to have another opportunity to maybe do better than what we think the last one was, that opportunity won't come if we don't go support them. So
it's not like we were batting 1,000 back in the 80s either.
Facts.
I mean, I seen Jer reference the Jason Takes Manhattan or whatever there earlier too. So
I'm gonna invite Kieran over and make him watch Jason Goes to Hell with me.
oh no, that's just
I don't think I've actually seen that one.
Well, consider it a date because you're in for a trip.
Coming early for the next wrestling show.
You might
All
be
right.
you might be better off with Leprechaun.
I'll make you sit through Ace Ventura like I did Keldar.
I like Ace Ventura.
So this is
Gives you
where
a taste.
this is where we are with the Halloween Ends marketing before we outro Kieran, Mike, and Craven. It is beginning. It is next week. It sounds like, I don't know who the magazine is, but it sounds like someone has some stuff. We're going to get a poster. You're going to get teases leading up to the teaser trailer, because it is only a teaser trailer. And then we're supposed to get the teaser trailer. The date that I have is the 14th. But who knows? If it comes out Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, who knows? All it takes now at this point, with all the theaters having possession of it, is some dick movie theater manager again friggin' putting it out there, and they'll have to respond and release it, because you don't want bad quality crap getting all over the internet. We were literally on air last year, Mike and I think Kieran was on too, as it happened. Like, everything was happening as we were on air. It was kind of wild. So yeah, there you have it. It's happening. We can stop asking when. Definitely next week. We'll get to some Q&A here after the outros. And Vince McMahon, is he going? Hopefully. Craven, where can everybody find you, man? Thanks for dropping by too. I know we wanted to do a couple of joint streams. We'll have to set that up, but thanks.
Yeah, man. Oh, listen, thanks, man. I'm so glad I was available to join you guys today for a little bit, and it's my pleasure. And we've got to definitely do this again where we can spend some more time together. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I'm at Craven Something Scary here on YouTube. Just pop in the name; it'll pop right up for you. And lots of Halloween Ends talk and Scream, because those are my two favorite franchises. So you're going to get a healthy serving of both on the channel. And I explore in some other horror movies as well, but it's really Scream and Halloween talk pretty much all the time.
I think people here will appreciate that. So, well, maybe not Dean, but most people here will appreciate that. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Can't wait to chat again.
Sounds good. See ya. Bye, guys.
Definitely check out his channel. He has quality content over there. He's one of the better content creators, really good to his audience, and a really decent human being, which seems harder and harder to find.
So he's like the exact opposite of us.
Yes, basically. Yeah.
Nice to his audience. He doesn't say shit about his audience, and he's nice, good human being. Unlike, well, Mike's kind of good. He's all right.
Oh, thanks, dude.
We are going to get to the Q&A here in a couple of minutes, but we got to outro Kieran and Mike. So, Mike, where can everybody find you at, man? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at MichaelBish_ and on Instagram at MBish_. Take One Podcast on all podcast platforms. Got some good shows coming up. A good just a teaser, a couple Stranger Things cast members joining the pod. So super excited about that. All major podcast platforms, and I appreciate it.
That's awesome, dude. Can't wait for that. And I'm sure people are thrilled for it. Kieran, you got to go, man. That Rick and Morty news is kind of disappointing. I wasn't expecting to hear that. And that sucks because whenever they say, this year or maybe early next year, it's almost always early the following year. Same thing happened with Mandalorian.
Why would you all of a sudden start hearing that unless it was, well, we got to go back and change and stuff?
Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer.
It's here when it's here. What?
Where can everybody find you at? You.
I don't know.
All right. Get out of here then. Off with his head. All right. Well, then number 2. Let's take a minute and hopefully this doesn't screw anything up. I'm going to pull us off screen for a second and take a very short break. Just fucking head pop into the music. We're back listening to this groovy 70s porno music. Kind of sounds like that. Answer a few Q&A here before we dive into Vince Pervert McMahon.
Yeah. I mean, we could have dove into that for the last 30 years.
Oh, man. Well, yeah. I mean, glad to see some reckoning happening finally, and we'll dive into all that. Let's go through these questions here. Just randomly starting. If your question gets passed over, feel free to send it back in. We'll get to it as we can. We're going to go for about 25 more minutes or so, and then we'll get out of here. So we've got 25 minutes to dive into this Vince McMahon situation. I think we might be joined by a couple of guests. Kate's coming back, and we might have a very special guest for people to enjoy. Although I'll say this, viewer discretion is advised, because I have no idea what's going to come out of his mouth or what his takes are. So the takes of the individual joining us do not represent the views of everybody else at the channel. Brendan says, I want a poster for Halloween Ends to have Lori and Michael looking at each other face to face like it's an MMA fight poster. And on the middle of the text should say, it ends tonight. Intriguing. I kind of like that. It's similar to what Face Your Fate was, which was actually the second Halloween 2018 poster that a lot of people forget about. So yeah, there's
I
that.
didn't close the door.
There's
And-
that. So, do you want me to pull you guys off? I'll pull them off for a second. I don't know if they're good. Jared, just let me know when you're good to come back. I don't know if you guys need a second or what. Okay. All right, they're back. So yeah, I mean that's a cool idea. But my guess is we should probably expect something a little out there and a little different because that's what it sounds like the movie is. So
I'd say they should fight for the H2O championship, but that's actually just an indie wrestling company in New Jersey.
Right? Just smiling, not Sean.
Johnny's not here to indulge me.
Oh man. Has Courtney Cox signed on? Yeah, Courtney Cox is a part of Scream 6. They were filming something at Gail Weathers' New York apartment. So that's a thing that I know definitely was happening. The Halloween mask in Stranger Things was hilarious. I didn't see a Halloween mask in Stranger Things.
I didn't see that either.
I haven't seen Stranger Things though, so I wouldn't have. None of it.
I
I'm gonna
saw it in the background, and there was some guy going like "Willy, willy, 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 willy," and that's all I saw.
We had that one highlighted earlier. Judy Greer is listed in the cast for Halloween Ends. I wonder if she actually survived the attack. Everything that I know about Halloween Ends says that Karen is very, very dead. But there's some things at the beginning of the movie that might allow that to happen. So maybe, but she did die at the end of Halloween Kills, just so we're clear.
Yeah, I know nothing about the franchise really, to be honest, but you can get anyone in with like flashbacks and stuff too. So
there's always a way. Money, money,
Yeah.
money. Sean, does Lindsay have a scene like 78 like Annie, her babysitter, did, considering the Wallace house is in Ends? Yeah, everything we know points towards the Wallace house in Ends, but I couldn't tell you specifically. There's a scene it's that one, but I can tell you that Lindsay has a bit of a unique relationship with Allison. So, Thor: Love and Thunder was ruined for him because of YouTube. Yeah, I would suggest anybody who doesn't want to be spoiled on anything that comes out to just stay away from YouTube and all social media, or else you're going to get spoiled by someone. That's just the way these things work. I think
I was disappointed in that movie. Too much love and not enough thunder.
I haven't seen that movie, but someone told me there's a lot of Guns N' Roses music in it, which I mean I'm always up for. But
That's so fitting. He feels like he would fit right in at a Guns N' Roses concert.
So I've been trying to reach our special guest to talk about this Vince McMahon situation, but he's not answering, and I'm assuming he's ready, so I'm going to bring him on here anyways. We're joined now by the star of TikTok himself, apparently. It's Mr. Terrence. What's going on, man?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. I owe you $10, Sean.
Why?
Cause she's real.
That was supposed to be secret. You're supposed to keep.
And don't you let Sean tell you that he was being the good guy in this one. He thought she was plastic.
It was me
I'll
with
send
two
you
I
a
said
voice
Jared
later
doesn't
for
have
the
enough
money
money.
they
I
owe
heard
for
those things
Yeah.
cost $20.
Oh God, you were something else.
You should see what she does for free. Nothing.
Yeah.
Let's let Jared take the lead on this one, then we'll get Terrence's take, which I'm frightened for. Dude, I seen Caitlin post in the chat yesterday. I don't know if it was posted on DMD. I'm assuming it was. That Netflix has stopped the Vince McMahon documentary. I've seen some people posting, "Oh, of course Netflix stops as soon as something interesting happens." But the documentary that they were shooting, to my understanding, or the movie, whatever it was in a very positive light of Vince McMahon. So obviously they had to stop. And even though Netflix invested millions upon millions of dollars into this project, they're just going to take the loss, and they're saying thanks, but no thanks. And we literally talked about this on air yesterday, and over the last week or so, about there's going to start to be some repercussions here. I personally think it's just the beginning. What do you think happens now, Jaron? What's it all mean?
Okay, so they were working on the Netflix documentary on Vince, and there was a catch in the paperwork that said WWE had to approve of the final edit. Well, obviously, with everything coming out, there would need to be updates to it, and they wouldn't have approved it, obviously. And so Netflix just said, you know what? We're just going to ditch it. It's not worth it. So, and then the latest updates that I have heard are that, so Vince's response to the whole thing so far has been from either no selling the whole thing or being defiant about it. And Vince's appearance on the June 17th SmackDown, the day the original story broke, or like the day after, he went out, did his 30-second promo that did nothing, and then immediately walked backstage to Gorilla and shouted, "Fuck him," which is Vince being defiant, obviously. And then when the original story broke, there was a former talent that contacted Fightful and said at least more of this is coming out. They weren't too specific about it, but there was more to the story than what was originally released. The $3 million to the, I guess, paralegal or whoever it was. And then the bigger story broke where Vince paying former talent like $7.5 million for, oral sex and pictures and whatnot, and, all the details that you can look up yourself. And it reached a point where the writers, Vince, there's been a story that came out that they would be working on writing TV and Vince would show up late, and this would just be a joke as to why Vince was late. Oh, he was, with a talent or whatever. And the trickle-down effect to John Laurinaitis, who hasn't been seen in 3 weeks since the original story broke, the general idea was that he was going to take the fall for all of this, and obviously that's so far the case, but hopefully not the entire case. But he's pretty much done in the company. That's the general idea there. And but as a way of Laurinaitis kind of taking the heat for a fair chunk of this, WWE is probably going to take good care of him and, give him a nice little severance package, and he's done at that point, which is a good thing for the female talent there because they were not comfortable working with Laurinaitis, who had recently regained his position of head of talent relations backstage. So, but as far as last night's SmackDown, word came out that everything was normal. Nobody brought anything up. Nobody was uncomfortable. Nobody said a word. It was business as usual. And I don't know what's next. I mean, the Netflix thing feels relatively important. There's a book
what did you
also.
Expect?
Yeah.
You expect he was just going to come out there and be like, guess what? I'm just a fucking rapist. It happens. Is that what you expected?
Well, no, he would have come out and said, I'm a rapist and I paid them off.
Exactly.
But there is a book.
I think you don't know what you're talking about. Here's what my sources are telling me. The Netflix movie just needs to get its new name approved. That's all. It's Love, Eat, Prey on Your Female Employees. The Vince McMahon story. It was going to be like Vince McMahon, Titan of an Industry or some bullshit, but this is way better.
Yeah, you got to keep up with the times, right?
I would love to get Terrence's thoughts on all this of what's gone down in just a second. But Jared, I got to ask, man, I get the whole Laurinaitis thing to some extent, but there's another part of me that says, I'm sorry, this is 2022, and I don't care if it's WWE or not. There's got to be something here that gets stuck with Vince. And if we've seen it, anybody, like literally anybody and everybody in Hollywood, the entertainment industry, who has had something come out of them in the last 4 or 5 years, it's literally never one or two things. The skeletons keep coming. Look at the Spacey stuff. Like, we hadn't heard anything from Spacey in a while. This was the first year he did nothing around Christmas time. He's been releasing all those cryptic videos for a while. And then sure enough, a couple months later, he's charged with several more counts of sexual assault overseas. And it's not just him. There's a bunch of other people this has happened to. This is not the end of this, man. There will be more Vince McMahon stuff to come. There'll be more Netflix issues. And I truly believe money is going to start coming off the table. I'm not saying the company's going to fold. I just don't know how it works when you look at, someone told me, I think he has like 70 or 80% of voting power. Like,
the way the stock is divided, there's levels to the stock, and Vince has the higher stock, so he does have about 70% voting power on the board.
So like, what's the path to get rid of him here? Like, it's kind of, if this
he has to vote himself off.
Yeah, I mean, there is ways to do it, but there has to be enough public pressure to where it starts hitting hard, and sponsors are dropping, the network gets concerned. I mean, there has to be this backlash from outside of the wrestling bubble that Vince has always been safe in. I mean, wrestling media has known about these issues for years and years, but nobody's outside of that bubble has really said a peep. So Vince has been safe in his little world. And now it feels like the wrestling media is pushing back on that and putting these stories in the eyeballs of people outside of that bubble, which I think is what has to happen to make any difference here. I mean, obviously Vince, relinquished the CEO and whatever, and nothing changed. Absolutely nothing changed. And I don't know if this is going to have to be more stories that come out. We might, do we get details? Do Vince's nude photos come out? Like, what is the shoe that has to drop for change to occur? I don't know what it could be, because this is pretty damning stuff, and it's recent stuff. I mean, within the past, I think 2005, I think, or something like that. Within the past 15 years, there has been this talent that Vince demoted, essentially, because they stopped having sexual encounters with him, which led to Mickie James posting a picture of her being like, and she's like, guess that's why I didn't get that push. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Just
to ruin your day.
You just have those magic fingers, man.
We just wanted Johnny to get excited.
Okay, so I'll preference this ahead of time. Viewer discretion is advised, and Terrence's preference this. I don't know how to talk right now. Fuck off, Terrence.
I'm pretty sure even Jared knows how to say that properly. Jared, give him a line here. He's going to
preface this ahead of time. Your views don't represent the rest of us. Have at it.
What do you want? What do you want to hear?
What's your take on Vince McMahon and this whole thing, dude?
My take is he just saw that fucking Donald Trump got away with it, and he's like,
oh God,
I'm not letting that goddamn guy get away with this bullshit. Guess what? I did it 5 times, you piece of shit.
I mean, he does probably grab him by the...
He He's never going to go down for this. He's got what I call Johnny Depp immunity.
Oh my.
You know what? So many people just like him, and they're just like, oh, yeah, he's a fucking pirate. He can do whatever he wants. He can get drunk and whip bottles all over the place. That's what pirates do. And that's the same with Vince McMahon. They're just like, you know what? He's a fucking wrestling promoter. They're all shitty. We know they're all shitty. They're like, we got one on this channel. He's a piece of shit.
You leave Mike alone.
Don't you deflect on Mike Bish. He's a beautiful man.
Uh-huh.
What are you nodding at, Sean?
Nothing, sir. Nothing. Just trying to keep my composure. That's all. No, I mean, I think that
How come you're host, but you're always leaving?
You have that effect on people. Good and bad.
I'm blowing up on TikTok right now. You know that, right?
You're
I think I
blowing.
saw you were at like 90 views on that one, so that's pretty huge.
My first video's got 750 views.
That's huge.
Damn. Is that the video where you were blowing people on TikTok? Is that what you said? Isn't that what you said? It sounded like that.
I'm going to preface this next sentence by coming down there and kicking your ass. You fucking quick-haired piece of shit.
No, he meant blowing up like his wife.
You know, you're a lot fucking... You're way less digestible when you're fucking not high.
I am. Just so.
Yeah, he's more chewy.
No, I meant I'm high. Is
He's
Vince
high.
Harvey Weinstein?
He might as well be. I mean, he's got the same effect.
You know, it took a long time to get rid of that guy too. Some people think someone just came out and then all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, cancel Weinstein. People knew about that shit forever. There was like Family Guy jokes about that. There was all sorts of shit. Everyone knew it.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Kate, let me ask you. Okay, you're the only woman on here right now, and when stories like this come out, it's incredibly demeaning and shouldn't be happening. Even if it was 15 years ago or however long it was. What's your take on realistically what should be done? Not because Vince McMahon gets away with everything, but just what should be done here in your opinion.
I mean, obviously, like, he should not be able to run the company anymore, not even from like the backgrounds. But the thing that sucks as a woman, especially with these like men who do have power, not that he has a significant amount in the world, if that makes sense, but within the wrestling community, he does. I think it just sucks that when men in power do stuff like this, sure, let's say he gets canceled and then he gets to keep all his money and live with his family and have a cushy life doing whatever he wants to do. And I think that that's super shitty because then there's not really any repercussions anyway. He's like 175 years old right now. So he's going to die or retire in the next couple weeks anyways. So it just sucks that there's nothing that will really be done about this at all, except for the girls who come forward will be memed and shamed by the wrestling community, especially the WWE one. Like, there's no way that it'll go without them being like harassed and like cyber stalked and doxxed and stuff. So they're the only ones that's going to pay for it. And it really sucks as a woman to see. And you know that that's going to happen, and it's even worse when it unfolds because you knew it was coming. So it's garbage, to be honest. Nothing's going to be done.
I just gotta wonder how big some of those other skeletons are at this point, right? So
Yeah, I mean, barring murder, if it's just a bunch of women being demeaned and assaulted, no one cares. Like no one cares.
We could get into him helping Jimmy Snuka get off a murder case in 1984 if we really want to.
Let's do that. Let's get him in jail.
He's got skeletons.
I don't think it's hopeless. We just need you know what? He doesn't give a shit about money. He's got fucking tons of money. We're not gonna fucking take away that.
Mhm.
We just need that fucking picture to come out with his tiny little cock. He would fucking hate that.
Straight up, it would look like a raisin.
Imagine everyone knew he just had a fucking tiny little dick.
I mean, you don't have to pay that much money if you're solid down there. So
We just need to ask Johnny when he inevitably finds it and looks at it. Wasn't fucking tiny, and then we fucking leak the fucking.
Yep.
That's how we take Vince down.
Well, with the amount of steroids he's done in the last 30 years, there's probably not much left of that genetic jackhammer down there.
He fucking puts himself on TV all the time. He's like, hey, fucking, look, I still get fucking Trish Stratus and all these fucking girls. Like, he's worse than fucking Kevin Nash for fucking promoting himself. And that's all he needs. He doesn't give a shit about the money. He thinks everyone around him thinks he's a fucking, not only is he fucking rich, but he thinks everyone thinks, fuck, look at that fucking piece of shit guy on the fucking Muscle and blah, blah, blah magazine. Like, he thinks everyone thinks he's a fucking badass wrestler. He just wants to be looked at as a fucking, like, super great fucking titan god fucking asshole.
He needs the reinforcement. I mean,
Well,
that's
once
literally
we see
why
his
he came
tiny
out.
little fucking pecker.
Yeah, I mean, that's why
That's
he came out on
all over.
SmackDown. He wanted the visual of him coming out and people being all like, oh, Vince, like, fuck off.
And I also think there's like a disconnect too, where because he's so enveloped in that world and he's a heel, like he'll be like, this is just heat, fellas. Like, but no, you're a fucking rapist. Like, this isn't heat. Like, you didn't pull off a paralyzed dude's legs in a wheelchair. Like, you raped a woman. Like, it's not the same.
That Ted Bundy was a great heel.
Man, fuck. for whatever reason, when you first said that, I'm like,
He
wait,
got
what
so much heat.
did you do? And I'm
Make
like,
sure
no, he actually said Ted Bundy. Okay.
Make sure you post that in the fucking link. Like, when you put this up on Facebook, just put fucking Ted Bundy was a great heel and more.
The ultimate heel.
I just want to know when, obviously, people's well-being and financial well-being is important. I just want to know when, one of the major talents or one of his family members finally say, you know what, this is enough. Like, enough's enough. I'm not coming to work. I'm not going to be around you. And like, he's got fucking 3 granddaughters. Like, I'm sorry, millions of dollars or not, I don't care if you're blood or not. At some
The
point,
tricky part, sorry to interrupt, but the people who are his family members directly, and honestly, a lot of the talent who's been there since they were young, like he's a pervert, so he's also grooming people. So the people that are in his family probably don't even think that this is that weird, like, because predators just groom naturally, right? So it's unfortunate, but they'll probably defend him until it's all over. So it's sad.
It's something. I do think there's more to come with this. I just wanted to point out Luis Mullet. Is that how you say it? Mullet?
I'm gonna say moulet.
Mullet.
Feels fancy.
Luis Mullet sends in a $2 or pardon me, what is that? Euros that he has there? 2 something. Super chat's appreciated. Matt sends in a $10 super chat. Even as a Halloween fan, I'm torn between wanting to see a new trailer and wanting them to just post the CinemaCon one just to troll the crybabies. Lampkin Lane is more useful than a trailer, in my opinion. That's very nice of you to say, man. That we really appreciate that. We put a lot of effort into Lampkin Lane, and we have a brand new Lampkin Lane coming up next week, so be on the lookout for that next Sunday. Anybody else have anything they want to touch on before we go here? Terrence, you got some stuff happening over on TikTok. What are you doing? I heard you bashing Kevin Smith the other day, dude. What the hell?
Of course I was bashing Kevin Smith.
You were almost crying. You were pleading for him. No, Kevin, please don't do this. I couldn't believe it.
Because he had a fucking good movie. His movies were fucking going on a good trajectory there. And then fucking, like, right at the end there, they fucking fell off. And he how does he not know? He's like fucking Vince McMahon. He's like, what? He doesn't even know how fucking bad he's fucking raping his own fucking trilogy.
Well, I mean, Vince did say, "Hey, baby, have you ever had your asshole licked by a wrestling promoter?"
Is that a Clerks reference?
You fucking,
Dan Silent Bob.
you fucking sexual deviant, you? Jesus Christ.
Oh man. Wow.
Well, fucking Kevin Smith, you know what? I'm on TikTok like 3 times a day, fucking telling you all about the news and my fucking views, and I got the real shit. I'm not like fucking Lambkin Lane.
What's wrong with Lambkin Lane?
Well, you fucking
There is drop.
fucking labeling all this shit like, oh, fucking Halloween fucking news.
Mhm.
And then you have to fucking buy it. I give my shit away for free.
It's true, and you can find him on TikTok at Terrence_reviews. And how do we know that? Because Terrence had a TikTok and completely forgot he had a TikTok last week. He was like, I'm going to go start a TikTok, even though I remember watching his videos outside the movie theater, and I just kept my mouth shut because I wanted him to look like a doofus.
Speaking of which,
That's not very nice.
now that you mentioned that, I think this video here is from TikTok that we've played a bunch of times on the channel, and he somehow didn't remember he had TikTok.
You guys remember when Aaron Rodgers used to be a fucking cowboy? He used to have a fucking mustache. He's a badass. What the fuck is he now? Some fucking Big Lebowski fucking piece of shit? Keanu Reeves, Matthew McConaughey, sushi avocado eating hippie? What the fuck?
That video is not on my TikTok.
Oh,
Do you even have TikTok?
no, I don't.
Exactly. Only fucking the cool kids have it.
Like, it's a whole lot of Terrence's face.
That's a fucking handsome fella over there.
Bottom one, you're in the same thing.
What?
The bottom one's the video of you right outside the movie theater. I don't know if it's the exact one, but you're wearing the same shit.
I own a movie theater. Haven't I told you this shit before?
Is that the one in Arizona that you disappeared to for 6 months?
No, that's the fucking one you sent me to, you piece of shit. If I get 500 likes, then I'm gonna I'll post the video of me in Arizona. How about that? It was fucking terrible. You want some proof?
I thought it was a good time. You look like you enjoy Arizona.
Shut up! Shut up and go post my fucking link in the chat, you fucking piece of shit. Looks like that fucking greasy fucking host is gone.
Ooh.
Let me go. What? Let me see what's in the fucking. I want to read questions. David Irwin says he thinks that I'm fucking related to Bubbles. Bubbles is a fictional character, you piece of shit. Have you seen Bubbles? He fucking takes off his shit and he looks like a fuck. Look. I take off my face. This is what I look like.
Now keep those on, please. The reflection makes it easier to look at.
Terrence, you got ticked? What? What? Should we screen these people? Can we just fucking let them in on an intellectual basis? Like fucking, if you can't get over fucking 40 IQ, you're not allowed in the fucking chat?
Does that
Because
count?
I know
for
David
too?
Irwin wouldn't be here.
No, I got in here because I had a GPA under 2.0.
I believe it. God damn it, it's David Irwin every other goddamn comment.
Questions are up on
Justin Smith says, how dare you say that about Vince's jackhammer, Terrence? Well, I guess we know. Fucking Justin Smith seen it. He wants to see the fucking Vince dick pic.
When it
I
comes
guess
out, are you going to
Sable
feature it on your
was
TikTok?
right when she
Yeah, we
sued
need-
WWE for sexual harassment. Well, I can tell you, nobody's going to sexually harass fucking her now. Because Brock Lesnar will beat the fucking shit out of them.
It's true.
Have you seen the video where fucking Brock Lesnar fucking meets Colin Coward? And they told him
Yes.
that fucking he wasn't a fan of Brock. He fucking made Colin Coward shit his pants. He literally just had to go up to him and say, I heard you don't like me. And the guy was like, ah! Fucking lost his shit. Unlike these fucking AEW wrestlers. If one fucking walked up to me right now, I'd be like, go home, you fucking little midget piece of shit. I'd fucking...
You leave Darby Allin out of this.
You
Darby,
should have
I
that
wouldn't even have to,
1000%.
I'd have to look straight down. I'd be like, what the fuck are you?
Go back
But
to your
that-
mom.
That's also the conversation you have with your penis.
You know what? I'll fucking show you that. I'll fucking send you a pic and you'll be fucking, you won't even be able to download it with your fucking piece of shit. Not even your 5 terabytes of fucking wrestling can hold this goddamn beast. And you'd have to take some more of your fucking Japanese people lighting each other on fire matches off your goddamn drive.
Michael Wilson asks, hey, when do you all think the Halloween Ends trailer will drop? The 14th is the date that we have. We believe it's the 14th. And if it's not the 14th, it's a date around the 14th. It's next week. Enjoy the marketing. It'll be fun. Well, I think that's going to do it for this stream tonight or this afternoon, guys. Halloween Ends marketing begins Monday with something, and we'll run through the week. Articles, images, teases to the teaser trailer, the eventual teaser trailer and poster, all supposed to be coming next week. And the poster rumor being that it doesn't really line up with the first 2 posters. So we'll have to see if that one pans out. Terrence, reluctantly here, where can everybody find you at?
Well, you can find me on TikTok. Did fucking Patchy Beard McGee over there posting yet? There you go.
That's the last
Right.
time I'm doing that, you prick.
You know you love being abused. Kate, tell me he loves being abused, doesn't he?
He does.
I
Don't
know
kink
it.
shame though.
He's a fucking sexual deviant over there. I know it. I've heard him talk.
I
5
pay him
minutes
hush
after
money,
hearing
but
him
just to
talk,
get him
you
to
know
shut
it.
the fuck up.
Terrence, he's
So
wearing.
find me on TikTok and give me a bunch of likes and fucking create fake accounts and fucking give me more likes.
You're the only person I follow on TikTok, by the way. I started that account just to follow you. Team Terrence. Gonna get it tattooed.
Well, you'd be only the 100th person to do so.
Unlikely. Now, by the way, Terrence, do you notice?
You think anyone's got a fucking greasy lumberjack fucking tattoo of you on them?
I have
Of me?
one myself.
Her name is Kate, damn it.
Yeah.
No, it's just fucking trolls used to come out and fucking call him a greasy lumberjack, and they were right.
Yeah, I think that lines up. That lines up
As
pretty
a
good.
Canadian, I feel like that's such a compliment, though.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if it's better material, sir. Oh, by the way, Terrence, Jer is wearing the shirt of your favorite Halloween director. Did you see that? What are you shaking your head for? I thought you loved those movies. I thought you were pro Rob Zombie.
Especially the second one.
That's not. I'm not even reacting to the fucking dirty Halloween movies. His fucking music's bad enough. Fucking piece of shit.
All right.
Dragula your ass on out of here.
Jared K, where can everybody find you to find people at?
You can find us at.
Looks like you can find him at a fucking rave.
It's true. She goes, wob, wob, wob. You can find us on Dark Match Drive on Facebook. Tons of wrestling updates, content, all sorts of stuff, videos, news. I try to drop as many posts as I can per day. It's also connected to my Google Drive, which is $10 a month for 5 terabytes of wrestling that is updated daily. We also have a Discord where we stream wrestling, mostly weekends, but if GCW runs a show on a Thursday, hey, you might find it there too. And where can we find you?
You can find me on Kieran's TikTok comment section, Phantom Empire YouTube comment section, DMD
You follow
comment
that fucking hippie?
It's true.
It's basically where you can find me.
Yeah, she's all over Dark Match Drive. Go yell at her there.
Definitely.
With
check.
way better memes.
Terrence, appreciate you coming out, I think, today. And big thanks to Craven for coming out earlier. Same with Mr. Mike Bish. And Tuesday, the Phantom Empire show. And obviously with Halloween marketing picking up next week, you'll probably see us quite a bit throughout the week. So we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. And hey, Terrence, go fuck yourself.
How come you always got the last line?
You just did.
This is a fucking. I'm the fuck. Only people donate money to this goddamn channel's because of me.
Yep, to get
Was
you
there
to leave.
super chats before this?
I will Western Union you money. You'll get it next month.
I'm
Is that
sending
one of
mine
your
by pigeon
goddamn
carrier.
wrestling goddamn shitty factions? The Western Union?